Hello, me hearties. A very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McCLUE. Here we are live on the big one just for you. How good is that? Happy Easter, by the way. And if you've just joined us, a very, very warm welcome to Scottie McCLUE. That's what it's all about, I say. Just getting you sorted out in terms of framing you. There we are. Oh, isn't that lovely? Fantastic stuff. Now, happy Easter. Thank you, Kareem. Very much appreciated. Lovely to have you with us, of course. And a big dinky-do, I say to you. Let's get telling 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that Scottie McCLUE is live just for you on Easter Saturday. There we are. Still a wee touch of the lurgy. Hi, Scottie. Are the calls open? There will be, Glenn. We shall open them in a few minutes. Lots to talk about tonight, of course. Fantastic stuff. Evening, Scottie, my bad boy. Good evening, Jamie. Now, lots and lots of good things tonight, so let's get chatting as soon as we possibly can. There we are. Happy to see the Huns get beat again. Why, Stefan? Surely it's never good when a team gets beaten. There we are, I say to you. But who knows? I don't know a great deal about football, of course. Now then, hi, Dinky-Doo. Lovely to have you all with us. Howdy, brother. Santa Claus in Colorado Springs. We like this. Colorado Springs. Wonderful stuff. Hi, Scottie Green. There's Susan joining us. That's excellent, Susan. Lovely to have you with us. Now, lots and lots of new videos for you on both the YouTube channel and the TikTok. Little bit slow, people, at subscribing on YouTube. I don't quite understand it. The first thing I would do if I saw Scottie McCLUE is subscribe right away because, you know, we've been around for 31 years and I think that's very, very important. Very important. I'm just trying to do something. Oh, yes. Excellent stuff. I'm pinning a tiny setup of roses there. So you've got that, which is absolutely fabulous. Now then, Scottie, Mum's had a relapse. She's back in hospital again, says Glenn. Glenn, I'm sorry to hear that because it's very tough on Mum and it's very tough on you. What have you been up to today, Scottie, says Jamie. Jamie, I'll tell you what, if you look at the videos, you'll see I watched Ben-Hur. Now, if I remember rightly, and this is a bit of a guess, I think that movie's 1959. Think about it. You do the math. We're talking 64 years old. Guys, thank you for contributing a red rose to my goal. So very, very kind of you. So there you are. You will see that there. Scottie says Glenn. And so there you are. Now then, what else have we got here? Look about you, Scottie. I'll look about you as small. Please say a happy Amber. Happy Amber. Well, happy birthday to Amber. Dinky-Doo, Scottie. Dinky-Doo, thank you for your red roses. And make sure you tell 10 to tell 10 that we are here and we are doing business. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Excellent. Now then, let me know when the calls are open, says Glenn. Yes, we will, Glenn. And you can come on and give us a bit of chat. Hello, do you remember me, says Suhair. Suhair, why do people ask, do you remember me? Of course we remember you. Yes, indeed. Why would we forget you? That's what we need to be asking. Hi, Scottie. It's David and John. Dinky-Doo. David, so glad you could join us tonight. Welcome, I say. Where's your beard? Suhair, have you not been on since the beard came off? The beard came off. Oh, I think maybe, are we talking a year ago, folks? So there we are. It's Taylor. Yes, Taylor, we remember you. I hope your mum gets better soon, Glenn. So there we go. Ever descending good wishes. What's all this look about you? We're all looking about you. Wonderful. Now, trusty cup of tea. Guys, that's beautiful. We've got the old cup with us as well. Fantastic. Oh, I love it. So there you are. Now, we can't discuss too much, actually, but we've got Mr. Trump, and I think Mr. Trump will end up saving the world from the evils. What do you identify as? What do I identify as? Probably a conch. What about that? A conch. Just sitting on the shore, making a noise when the sea goes in and out. That would be good, wouldn't it? The dinky-doo, I say to you. Now then, lots and lots of reaction from you. Lovely to have you with us. If you're watching on the YouTube, as I say, do get subscribing. Superb answer. Do you like that one? A conch. There we go. Will he save us? Murray says, will he save us from, and he mentions some people that are in a bit of, well, one of them seems to be in a bit of a sticky wicket at the moment. Good one, Murray. We like that. Glad you could join us. Murray, I mean, don't be spooked by this. And I was just thinking about you today. I'm thinking what an absolute top man you are and how kind you've been to the program. And also the fact that you're always there. You know, you make time. You're an important man. Well, every day is important if you're watching Scottie McCLUE. But you're an important man. And you come and join us. You make time on a Saturday night to come and say hi and look after me. What can I say, Murray? Do you know? Wonderful. Next time I'm taking a walk out to Mugduck Castle. You'll need to come and join me for the walk. Are you watching the Masters, Scotty? Well, I hope we're not damaging the audience for the Masters by popping up live tonight. Now, guys, I do apologise if the voice goes a bit creaky. I've had a touch of the lurgy again. Working too hard. It's always the same, isn't it? So there we go. Murray, interesting setup this week about that, though. But I do hope that what's going on in the SNP becomes a sideshow and doesn't detract from the fact that the bulk of Scots would like independence, but with a very, very responsible government who know Scotland. And if I managed to avoid having anything to do with politics up until now, but I may have to throw my hat in the ring along the line just to keep things in Scotland on an even keel. Is that a portrait of you behind? Yes, it is. How did you know that? Who's this? Are you alive or Scotty's phone in? Who's that? I'm Jordan. There we are, an idiot. Now, guys, if you are a half-wit, don't ring up and shout silly stuff because it's of no interest to any of us, and particularly you. If you've got the tiniest trace of a brain cell and you think you'd like to hold a conversation, then come on, because remember, I've had 31 years of this, and we don't need half-witted idiots at all, and neither do you. You're live with Scottish Phone In, is that?
Hi, Scotty, how you doing?
Glenn, how are you doing there, boy?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
I'm sorry to hear about Mum.
Yeah, it's okay. It seems to be 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, Scotty, to be honest. But
Glenn,
as you get older, you're more susceptible to things happening, I reckon, aren't you?
I think that's what happens, Glenn, because, I mean, I've got some dear old friends. One of them's now in a home, and it's very tough for the person, and it's very tough for their loved ones, and it's very tough for yourself going to see them.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, do you think it's harder for? Do you think it's harder for the individual, or do you think it's harder for the people around them?
Well, I think it's tough for the individual, but a lot of people, like I would imagine, I don't know your mum, but if she's anything like yourself, she'll have conditioned herself not to be too difficult, not to complain.
Scotty, she can be difficult at times, to be honest.
Yeah, well, of course, because she knows you understand, she'll tell you the lot. But her overriding discipline is that she mustn't complain.
Sometimes you've just got to step back at you sometimes.
Well, you have. You've got to take it on the chin and not take it personally.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, my mother used to say to me very readily, "Oh, you're just an idiot." You know, now you have to not take, you know, with a couple of degrees, an IQ of 164, you know, I think I probably just had the edge on that. But you've got to not take it personally. You've got to say, look, this is her stuff and not yours.
Watch out for duck's back, so to speak.
What's that one, sorry, Glenn?
Watch out for duck's back sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. I think the trick is to say, well, how was Mum today? She was all right. She was a little bit difficult, but she was pleased to see me.
A little bit dysfunction kind of thing,
Yeah. And you also don't know what's going on. Yeah, because if she's a little bit delirious, there'll be toxins, you know. So there's her liver, her kidneys, and clearing for her brain.
I mean, everything's come back fine with CT scans and everything. It's all come back fine again. So, and she says she's dying again. She's got cancer. That's just a mind thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And stuff will come back, and medically they'll say, we can't find anything wrong with your mother.
It's just psychiatric team that's got to get involved, you know, so the mental health thing. Yeah,
and you've got all that as well, and that's a bit hard going as well, you know what I mean?
I mean, sometimes I'm not knocking NHS and all that for what the job they do, but sometimes it's hard to get right information, like departments in it sometimes. I mean, you kind of get answers, and it's like one says one thing and one says another thing.
That's right. You've got that as well. You see, they also are very anxious about being sued and being proved wrong and blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I was speaking to a nurse yesterday, like an assistant, and they can't even feed patients, Scotty, or take them to the toilet sometimes, you know, if they're not liable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the team can't even do that. If managers come to them and we do something like that, they can lose the job. So what they're going to do, they're just going to lose.
Well, your problem is that since 1948, when the Labour Party brought us this fabulous NHS, quite fabulous, various politicians have interfered in it with very, very little knowledge and experience. And they're obviously trying to cut the money that's going there so they can get more money out to, you know, what they're interested in.
And that's why we're suffering now then.
Correct. So whatever you hear, pandemic, all that stuff, you won't hear Brexit. They're very strong to avoid saying, well, since Brexit, we've crashed the NHS.
Do you think it'll pick up then?
Yes, I mean, I think it will, but the problem we've got is if you don't have the present lot, you're going to end up with the other lot, and the other lot and another cheek of the same two faces.
You don't bother buildings, do you?
No.
I mean, you've just got to look at positive side, I suppose, aren't you, if there is a positive.
There's always a positive, Glenn.
Definitely,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, my dear boy, I'm going to push off, but I want to send you love, and I want to send you strength for your mum and for you.
Yeah, I've got challenging times ahead with new baby being born and all that.
You certainly have, and remember, don't take it personally. It's her stuff.
I won't do. I'll just support you as best as I can in the Scottish.
That's what you've always done. Love you.
Definitely.
You're a top son. See you, my boy. Dinky-Doo. There we are. That's Sarah Glenn. What a great guy. His poor mum, she's back in the hoppy, but I'm aware of the stuff that goes on. No, I did not vote for Brexit, and nobody in their right mind would ever vote for Brexit. And also, what else have we got? I hope you're not a member of the SNP. I'm not a member of any political party. I am 100% apolitical. Now then, Dinky-Doo. Hello, my good fellow professor. You're live with Scottish Phone-In. Who's that?
DINKY-DOO. I am a member of the SNP party. Can I give you 10 facts about the Scottish National Party?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's too much nonsense going on. Maybe another time when you're a bit more serious. You're live with Scottish Phone-In. Who's that?
No, Scotty. Pablo.
Pablo, how are you, now?
Beautiful. The beautiful weather tonight, Scotty. So I'm doing fantastic on you.
It's wonderful, isn't it? And I think it's been an incredible show so far. If we get another 50 minutes of this.
Well, I just caught you. so we're going to phone up because I've got two topics on my mind.
Right.
When we spoke about the police system last time we spoke.
Yep.
So I've got a bit of a question there for you.
Yep.
The next question is, which 10 commandments of God's 10 commandments do you find the most difficult?
Which of the 10 commandments are the most difficult? There's nothing there that's a big problem. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Well, there is only one God for all religions, and it's just the one true living God. You know, thou shalt not steal. We don't do any of that. I think pretty well they're okay. Honor thy father and thy mother. That's a big one. People are saying, well, wait a minute. You know, are they honoring us?
Well, with these guys, I look at it and I think it's very like this. And every people think, I shall not kill. Now that's never wrong. So it becomes nothing like, no, I shouldn't kill. That's in my saying that killing is wrong. So I shouldn't steal. But you know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
You've got a neighbour as you want to be treated. Now I take that as my next door neighbour, so you know to say. So I find it hard to tolerate them sometimes. So how do you find it to love them?
I'm getting people saying the call's sounding a bit muffled.
Is it sounding muffled now, Scotty?
I'm not sure. How's the call sounding now, folks? Have a chat, Pablo.
Yeah, if it goes on, I can ring back.
No, we'll see how we go. Press on just now.
Right, so I said, with the 10 commandments, what I find most difficult is with thy neighbour, you want to be loved yourself. Because I find it difficult that when people are irritating you, whether that's playing loud music to be ready, or just speaking about you in general, I find it hard to love that person. I mean, I can forgive him, I can do all that.
Yeah.
I find the most easiest thing to do is with thy neighbour.
Love is
The
hardest.
most difficult.
Now, the thing is, do you find your neighbour, now by neighbour they're not talking next door, they're talking about people in general, other people, do you find people love you?
Right, so that's what it's referring to. Because a lot of people, we're really talking about like scriptures, some will have a different philosophy, what that means to them. So it's what, I think what the person needs, I mean, you could have 10 different meanings. You mean you've got to love your next door neighbours, like you love yourself, or is it just people, like in general, everyday people that you might see on the bus, in the shopping centre? Is that what it's referring to?
Yes, I wouldn't be thrown by the word neighbour. That's come to, if you live in a terrace, the people on either side. You know, and I mean, you might have a couple of crackers, or you might have a couple of real dafties. So I don't think it comes down to that. I think it means, are you putting in the effort to be fond of other people and finding other people are fond of you?
Well, I was speaking to Vicky before I phoned up, and she said, I think to generalise it, what it means is not to have a full-blown conversation with this person, not to knock on and ask them to do what come in for tea and biscuits, but if you see their house getting robbed or you see them stabbed in the street, you would help him. And I think that's what Rob that neighbour comes down with, Scotty. I said, why don't you phone Scotty? Because you give me the answer I was looking for.
Absolutely. I think that's true.
And the next one, Scotty, I know you're fond of the police and how they work, but my friend is funny in the works. I've seen a lot of people say police don't stop crime, they only solve it. So the next question is, how can you get police stopping crime instead of solving it?
Well, do they actually solve it? You see, I think the way to stop crime would be, if you're caught, you will get a very long time in the slammer for trying to force somebody's front door open, right? So if you're caught, now, they then need to catch a few and make an example. You see, and I think that's the thing. I said, no. He was caught breaking the law.
It really stops a lot of the jobs for me, because at the moment, the kids, let's say the kids, let's not say drug dealers, so let's say the kids, they've got no respect for the elders, they've got no respect for PCSOs, they're basically like a traffic warden. The police, you never see on the street anymore, and you don't even see the community, I call them community officers back in the day, where we used to be rounded up outside shops, getting up to no good. These people would come out to you, reach out to you, speak to you, say, we're taking people like you, your age group, on a football trip or go-karting. And it took the kids off the streets, Scott. And there's none of that. And what I find difficult with all that, you could say resources, we don't have money for it anymore. The 6 weeks or 8 weeks holidays coming up, and within a cost of living crisis, there's no parks for them, there's none of the stuff that was there for them, Scotty. So for me, it's like they're almost feeding this next generation of children, to run ragged. They've got nothing else better to do than tease somebody who lives on the street, throw a stone at the window. I mean, we've all been children, and if we don't cure that boredom, Scotty, it's going to come out to...
Right, I'm going to give you an example here, Pablo, right? In places like India and Africa, you had child labour, and particularly in India, they had little ones sewing carpets after school, right? So suddenly everybody gets up in arms, and they took the jobs away. Now, these children were devastated because they'd lost their jobs. They didn't know what they'd done wrong. Now, at the age of 12, vandalism was the very last thing on my mind, because I went on board the boats and swept up the cabins and got to steer the boat and pulled the ropes. Now, I was so chuffed and so proud of my Saturday job. So I think we need to look at a range of jobs and introduce young people to the world of work aged 12 or 14.
It's a good idea, Scott. I think that ties me into the next thing before I go. Do you think work experience in school starts too late? Because I'm sure at year 10, I think nearly 14, 15 by then, and you're leaving next year. Why don't you start some programs?
Yes.
Learning something. You don't have to be hands-on in the job.
Get in touch with a local factory and say, we have a number of 12-year-olds. If we can get parental permission, can we send them to you after school for 2 hours work?
No, that's it. I mean, listen, when you get into that age, Scott, you've got a lot of chemicals in the body that you don't know what's happening, especially when you're a boy. I think women mature is dangerous, but people, especially in my area, Scott, they see what the last generation got up to. They think, this is me now, I'm in the slum, I'm not getting out this ghetto, what is there for me to do? And I think there needs to be more people on the street and putting more into the community, because there's none of that. I mean, it's almost like, I feel like having a word and say, come on lads, when I was your age, you know what I used to do a bit of boxing training, running and all that.
Yeah.
And you think someone in the field of sports, anything, could just have a word with these children, and you'd be surprised, because not all of them are throwaway kids, you know, feral kids.
No, I think so, and I think identify. Ask some of the players or managers if they'll go around the schools.
Yeah. Well, everything seems closed off now, Scotty. If you remember back in the day, you could go up to, what was it called, the Cliff, where Manchester United trained, and you could shake hands with David Beckham and any other footballer, get a picture of him. Now it's a multi-business where, you know, people feel threatened if people get close. And so I think when you throw everything in, Scotty, squashing the, not the potential, but, you know, what we have as children, it's all dying off and dying off.
It's also very good for the players not to be wrapped in cotton wool.
Well, because Scotty, you know, I don't watch sport for that reason. I mean, we don't speak about football, but men's football in the last 10 years, for me, has degressed in this situation. It's not in the contact sport, Scotty. The minute someone goes in with a slight high foot, it's referee straight on his whistle. I don't know what I'm watching anymore, Scotty. Yeah. I really don't. That's why I love phoning up and talking about something that isn't related to sport. Last night we watched a great documentary for you to watch, Scotty. It's called Chosen. It's like a Jesus sequel. Anyway, it's great. And we were all watching it, and in this particular part, I started clapping, Vicky started clapping, and Dante started clapping. I said, what did that show you? She said, what? I said, you don't just have to clap at sport entertainment. Sometimes great things happen. It's not on a football pitch, Scotty, and it's not on a racetrack. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we're all ensured that we must full of sport, feel a part of something, and we're missing something that we should really be a part of, and it's right in front of our eyes, and we don't even see it, Scotty.
Fantastic. Pablo, I'm going to thank you for a wonderful call, and we will catch up soon.
Dinky-Doo, Scotty.
Dinky-Doo, la. Strength to you. Fine fellow. That's our Pablo. Very interesting. There's talk of, I know we don't do a lot in football here, but there's talk of bringing in, cameraing up the referees so that they're not subjected to abuse. And I think any player abusing the referee, immediate sacking, gone. Your contract brought to an end. If you're on $750,000 a year, gone. If you cheek up to the ref. Yep. What do you think about that, guys? Right. Glenn says, sounding muffled. Are the calls sounding better? I'm working at it as we speak. If you've just joined us, a very warm welcome. Scotty's phone in. You're live with Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, my name's Edgar.
Edgar, what can I do for you?
Yeah, I just like to talk about Gilbert syndrome. It's like a disease that causes like jaundice every 2 or 3 months. It's my mate. He's suffering from it, and I don't know what to do, mate, if I'm being honest.
I can't help you because I've never heard of Gilbert syndrome, but I'm going to put it to the nation, and we'll get some calls for you. And strength to your meat, I say. There we go. You were so clear last Saturday in the other room. David, yes, it might be the acoustics in this room. Who knows? Let's see if we can get sorted. Hello, you're live with Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scotty. Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo. Who's this?
The nephew tickler. Who tickles all the nephews. Do you tickle your nephew, Scott?
You're the nephew. Right, I don't know what nephew you are. We're so clear, says David. How's it doing? Kieran says, what's this? This is the world's top phone-in program, Kieran. Get going. You used to say, look about you a lot when we listened to you back in the day. No, I don't think I've ever said, look about you. You're live with Scotty's phone-in. Who's that?
Dinky-Doo, Scotty, it's Kareem.
Kareem, how are you?
Well, how are you, Scotty?
Grand, yes. Good phone-in tonight.
No, I've just been listening. Yes, it's been very interesting. Although it was Pablo was a wee bit muffled.
He was muffled, but I've been working at it, Kareem, and hopefully it's better for you.
Yes, no, I'm sure people will say on the YouTube.
Yes, they'll tell us. Now then, what's happening?
Not too much, Scotty. Just obviously, the football was quite interesting today, and I think there'll be a lot of people thrilled and hurting in this great city that we have here. But that's the way it goes, and nothing much as well. I liked earlier on we were talking about the political view, and not to go into detail about it, but I just personally think it's another witch hunt. They did it for the previous First Minister, and I think it's happening again.
Oh, listen, Kareem, something will be coming out, and we will find out what's what, so we're not going to comment on that side of things, but I know that Westminster will be rubbing their hands that there's chaos in Scotland. And it would be quite good to have a movement that says, well, independence is bigger than any individuals or any political parties, and most of Scotland still favours independence.
I think, Scotty, it's the start of the season where the marches are going to happen. A new strategy needs to come into function, and people are already criticising the new First Minister. And I think you've got to give them time to settle.
Of course. The independence movement would do well to embrace the unionist movement, all the marchers, all the royalists, all the loyalists, embrace them, explain to them how they would be better off economically, and march under the saltire.
I think the problem is for a lot of those people, Scotty, we spoke about it before, is emotional attachment. Whether or not they like to admit it, they won't. Scotland will be better independent. We know that. We have the facts. We have the figures. Now, there are still some things that we need to develop, but that's natural. At the end of the day, you're still going to be British. You're in the landmass.
Absolutely. You're in the landmass of Britain. You're still British. You're under the British monarchy. There's no problem there.
The difference is Scotland will have full financial control. And I think that's what this country needs. So it's fine everybody moaning, complaining, but at the end of the day, the government has a limited budget that gets allocated to councils. Now, you know what politics is like. The councils just now, a lot of them are minority parties, aka either Tory or Labour, being propped up by the other party. And you have to look at it. If you're not happy with the way things are, then look at the council. Look what they're doing.
All right, I'm going to give you another scenario, Kareem. There are lots of accusations flying about that virtually every politician is a puppet and is worked from the back, okay?
Yeah.
Now, and also there's a push that people would like one world government, yeah? Now, let's say we have Scotland gathers its tax money and its council money from council tax. Why not have all that coming into Scotland, and that goes nowhere near Westminster?
Yeah.
So Scotland brings in its own budget, and nobody from any other government or any other politicians, apart from Scots, have a say in how Scotland's income is spent. Now, and spelt. Now, INCOME. Now, if you said we bring in £75 billion, we send £75 billion to Westminster. We keep every penny of that 75 billion. Also, all the animals and the food and everything that's grown in Scotland. Scotland's a larder, gets sent down south and gets a Union flag on it. Wrong. Let's have all that Scottish produce. So all your potatoes, strawberries, raspberries, brambles, black currants, cows, sheep, pigs, hens, chickens, everything comes from Scotland to feed Scotland. Wind power, wave power, all that into Scottish homes, nowhere near any other company. All to the Scottish central government. Now, why don't we try that? Say, we're not needing independence. We just need to keep every penny, and everything that's made in Scotland for the Scots has got the saltire on it, and everybody knows. Yeah? So, McCLUE's potatoes from McCLUE's farms in Ayrshire. Yeah?
Yeah. No, I agree, Scotty, but I think, you know...
Now, try all that, and try all the charging. We'll have to charge you for the power. We're making you just a little bit, just to cover the admin. And up the standard of living in Scotland to demonstrate to the rest of the world this is what can happen without outside interference.
Well, I think, Scotty, that a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people continue to vote for poverty by being attached to something that is broken. And with the opportunities that we have as a country to move forward, you know, it's a risky time just now because, you know, we know at the general election, I think this is for Humza, he will be judged. He's got now up until that general election, so just over a year to make positive changes, to really change and highlight things. If he loses a lot of MPs, then there's no way they're going to allow that for the Scottish election. They'll have somebody else in. So I wouldn't say goodbye to Kate Forbes yet. You know, I think she'll still be in the background, you know, working.
I wouldn't say goodbye to any of them because remember that this election is by the party.
Yes.
And by default, because of the majority, he's First Minister.
Yeah.
Now, that could go on ad infinitum, or that could change. But what we've talked about, I mean, I would love to think that Humza was listening right now, because what we've just talked about there, that's the goals. And you can always say it's a sticky time, it's a dangerous time, it's a dodgy time. But if we actually went for that, I mean, Buns was writing in the 1780s and 90s. What was happening then? Revolution. When I saw France on fire, I thought, these are the photos that we used to see in school of the Bastille in 1789. Le 14 Juillet. All the flags been woven, the smoke, everything reminded me of the storming of the Bastille. And if the greedies get too greedy, that will spread across the world.
Yeah. Do you know, Scotty, one thing I'll say before I go...
You're off mic, Kareem. Can't hear you.
Hello?
Hello, that's better.
Yeah. One thing I'll say, Scotty, I admire what the friendship is because...
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you going off mic?
No, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hello.
Go on.
Yeah. No, I was saying that
No, we can't hear you, Kareem. Sorry.
I'll try to...
Lovely. Thank you. Right. The cult is imploding, says Murray. There we are. Now then, Kareem is here. Small little bit. Hello, you're live with Scottish Fun.
Hi, Scotty, is that better?
Oh, much better. A million times.
Yeah, I won't stay long, but before I leave, Scotty, what I was saying there, what I admire about the French is they stand up
and they come together, all walks of life, when the government puts in change which is not benefiting the people. And we in the UK should learn from that, because when they keep putting our pension age up and up, we just accept it. When we see people, or hospital times, you know, the money going in the NHS is getting less and less, people dying as a result, we accept it. There's so much things that we, as the UK, not just Scotland, but as the UK, accept, and the French don't. And I take my hat off to the French, because we can all learn something what they're doing just now, because we don't have the bottle over here to do any of that at all.
Well, we're also very highly trained to be within the law. And as a result of 1789, the French passed a lot of laws that are very pro the people. We're running out of laws that are pro the people. And the government we've got have done that over the last, 15 years.
Okay. All right. Well, I think a lot of people will wake up as well when January comes, because when your right to strike is going to be taken away from you, and so many other things, people will really have to wake up and think, is this actually worth this? Was Brexit absolutely worth it? No, it's not.
Brexit was worth nothing.
Yeah.
Totally worthless exercise where we squandered 250 billion and bigged up the billionaires.
Yeah. So I think we'll wait and see what happens, Scotty. Interesting times ahead, dates in the calendar, but people need to wake up, or they can't complain. They just need to accept what's going to happen, and that's it, really. That's the way the UK is going to be moving forward.
Absolutely. Dinky-Doo, sir.
Thanks, Scotty.
Thanks, Kareem. All the best. Happy Easter. There we are. Now, guys, lots of good stuff there, I say. Scotty, sounds like you're getting feedback. Stallion Fish has sent £2. Stallion Fish, thank you. You're live with Scotty's Fun In. Who's that?
Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo? Who's that?
It's me, Scotty, bro.
Right. It's no point coming on. It's me, Scotty, bro. Come on. Give us a handle. First name only. Anything to call you by. There's no point in all this nonsense hoping to shout down the phone. Come on with your first name and explain your point. Scotty, a local guy who stood up for the people around Manchester. He said the people need to own the unions. Voting means nothing. What's your take on that? And the vote has to get to the people. You're live with Scotty's Fun In. Who's that?
Hello. I would like to ask you a question about the empire that Nicola Sturgeon has built and that will now be demolished as she has resigned from being... Yes, I'm purely awful.
Right, somebody shouting in the background. That's a nonsense call, guys. That's of no interest. Too much laughing and giggling and carrying on. There we are. And the empire that Nicola Sturgeon has built will press on for the next leader. Scotty Dinky-Doo just tuned in. Ted the lad. Lovely to have you with us. Gatsby says, OMG, I was in your show when I was 14. There we are. My dad got backed off, says Westy. He kept me on for ages. Dinky-Doo. Who's the better? So there you go. Lots of reaction, guys. You're live with Scotty's Fun In. Who's that? Hello. Too much carry on in the background. There we are. You stop the laughers in the background. They're doing you no favours. There we go. Fantastic. Now, who have we got here? Dinky-Doo, Mr. Scotty McCLUE, says James. Dinky-Doo, James. Lovely to have you with us. Good show tonight, guys. Couple of half-wits, but they're gone quickly. And good to talk to all the colours tonight with some great points. Absolutely, says Daisy. Hello, Daisy. There we go. How are you, Scotty? Hope you're well. Gordon, lovely to hear from you. Fantastic. Some good. This live is unreal, says GNM. GNM, I thank you, but I promise you, it's very, very real. It's also a phone in, and if you want to ring us up, 01416289795. Come on and have a chat. Wonderful, wonderful reaction from you guys. Every day is a learning day. Absolutely. We need to spread awareness, says Russell. Yes, we do, Russell, because I'd not heard of it. And if McCLUE hasn't heard of it, then, you know, what do we minute? I'ma get hostile. I think we'll dump that. Hang on, guys. Just getting rid of a silly thing here. A wee troll. Lovely. Gone. Right, that's it. Remember, if you troll Scotty, it's a lifetime ban. And we don't want that again, do we? Hi, Tad. DINKY-DOO. Hiya, Chris. How you getting on? Fantastic stuff. Now, if you're watching on the TikTok, please follow now. Pardon me. Touch of the lurgy there. Getting over it, though. Scotty, what's your take on the emergency alarm going off to everyone's phones? Is it just testing or is it something in the pipeline? Well, they haven't told us the full story. Why would you test it? But I do know that you can choose not to receive it. You could choose to switch it off on your settings. So there we have it. Scotty, what about the 15-minute cities? Well, Dickie, what's the point in a 15-minute city? We do have a degree of climate change. It's not huge, and it's being bigged up, yeah? Because people are hoping to make money out of going green. Now, what I would say is a few cow farts, a bit of diesel and petrol fumes would make no difference whatsoever to the overall climate. Hello, you're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
It's David, Scotty. How are you, son?
David, how are you, son? Listen, apart from the odd dafty, it's been a good show tonight.
Oh, I know. I heard a few dafties. I know one. But that guy called you, all right, bro, or grew up. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
You know, honestly, you know.
Aye, very good.
Scotty, right? Obviously, Kareem became a bit clearer tonight with the calls.
It came clearer, yes.
There was a lot of my friend, but you're trying to fix it. That's not a problem.
I'm trying to fix it all the time, Davey, and seeing if we can get an improvement. As you say, last week when I was in the West Wing, it was very good.
That's right.
So what we might do, I
just think maybe that lovely room in your background, you know, you've got a lovely house, right? I just think there might be a wee ghost somewhere. I don't know.
Davey, there might be several wee ghosts.
What, son?
There might be several wee ghosts.
Aye, well, that's true. Oh, yes, we know what we're talking about here, I understand.
And
Scotty, right?
Go on, David.
I was in Edinburgh. I went to Edinburgh last Saturday. I had a great day, right, with John, right?
Right.
And as you know, the football hooligans there was a big trouble in the train station, Scotty.
Yes.
And they were really dangerous folk, right? And I said to John, I went, I'm not going up the stairs with these people. The police were trying to hush them out. They were screaming at our fans, right?
Here's what we're needing, David.
It's really scary.
Yes.
Right, Scotty?
Now, here's what we're needing. We're needing to bring back somebody like Percy Silito.
Right, wait, explain that more, Scotty. Tell me.
Percy Silito was the chief constable of Sheffield in the 1930s.
Right, okay.
Glasgow had a gang problem with the Billy Boys.
Uh-huh.
Slashing each other and stabbing and all that.
Oh, we know about. I mean, I know about gangs in Glasgow, which is scary too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Percy.
Do you know?
Well, we can tell you.
And me and John were walking down a side street, as you know, the football match in Glasgow. And the guy approached me and John. I get scared because John had a green and white jacket on, but it was nothing to do with being Celtic.
No.
He said to John, "Are you a kin?" It was dangerous. And I said, "John, quick," I went, start walking fast. He was screaming up the street and his pal was trying to attack people in cars.
Right, listen to me. In Glasgow, David.
He was just pulled a knife out to his cousin.
Aye. Now, Davey.
And
what we're needing, John should be able to walk anywhere in Glasgow in a full Celtic strip.
It's terrible, Scotty. It really is, right?
And nobody should object.
It's too much, Scotty, right? I don't know. I'm not into that, I never have been, right? I'm not into all that carry on stuff. Do you know what I mean? You know, right?
Right.
But it's really, there's no war anymore. I'm noticing there's no much war.
No much war?
I don't think there's no much law to deal with these people.
Oh, yes. Well, no. What I was going to say about Percy Senator, we need to give the police the powers to, if you've got gangs of supporters, right, get out there and give them all a leathering until they behave.
I didn't a big leathering, Scotty. I agree. Oh, my God, seriously, right? And it's really out of hand.
Yes.
You know what I mean, right?
So, if you're going to behave, no problem. If you're not going to behave, big problem.
Oh, aye. Honestly, do you know what I mean? I've got angina and, you know, maybe a bad heart coming on soon.
Yeah, well, you be careful.
That's scary, do you know what I mean?
Very scary. You need to be careful.
Anyway, apart from that, I'm fine.
Apart from that, you're absolutely 100%.
Aye, you know what I mean? the planet's not mad. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, David. And listen, give my regards to John.
I will do, son, and I love you. What's my friend, okay?
Wait, before you go, here's Stallion in Manchester. Love David's passion.
Oh, that's great. Thanks you for that.
What about that?
That's brilliant. Oh, what a guy, right?
Love David's passion.
It's making me very humble.
Is that beautiful? Hey, and Dinky-Doo.
What, son?
Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, son. Bye. I'm very humble now. Bye.
So am I. Fantastic. Now, David said, pardon me, opinions on Brexit as a Scotsman. Brexit was the biggest act of self-harm this country's done since it engaged in World War I and World War II. Brexit has brought about economic annihilation and political fragmentation, as I predicted it would in 2016. 7 years ago, McCLUE told it like it is, as always, and that has come to pass. All right? I'm not blowing any trumpets. I'm just saying, always listen to Scotty McCLUE. McCLUE knows best. Guys, I'm appalled that another 50 of you haven't followed. Get following. You're live with Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Oh, hello, Colin. Long time no see. How you doing?
Hello? Who's that?
Hello.
Who's that?
It's me. It's Derek.
Derek, how are you?
I'm fine. I've not seen you in donkey's years. How you doing?
We're doing very well. Good to hear you.
Good to hear from you too, young fella.
Now, what are we talking about?
To see how...
You've done what, sorry?
I was just phoning to see how you were doing.
Oh, I'm doing amazing. Lovely to hear you.
Lovely to hear from you too as well.
And Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo to you.
Dinky-Doo, the character. There are Love Davies passion. Absolutely, Stallion. Proper passion, I say. Now, how's the time? Oh, my goodness. We've only got 2 or 3 minutes. Do you like brambleberry conserve? No, Oscar. I don't like brambleberry conserve. I love brambleberry conserve. Guys, do you see that? I've set a goal of red roses, but only contribute if you are flush. We've already got 3 red roses. Can you see it there on the TikTok? Isn't that beautiful? 15-minute cities, we don't like that. Now, what have we got? Scotland gets pocket money. Yes. Thank you, Last Kin, for sending me 7 red roses. I now have 10. Isn't that beautiful? Now, what have we got here? Stay strong. Why has Scotland put up with the prices we do? We don't know. It's absurd. Good night, sleep well, Scotty and Kareem. Good night, Susan. Lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo, I say to you, has everybody on YouTube subscribed? I think you should. You'll see the subscribe button there. Martin, thank you for my red roses. You're very kind. There we go. Socialism is the only way, says Marx. Marx, I don't think it is, because we've got a lot of socialism causing all this problem, and a lot of Marxism. So I don't think that's the way forward. It's marketed as the way forward. But look at Russia in 1917. They were told they were getting socialism. What happened there? Where did it all go wrong? Good night, sleep well, Scotty, Kareem, Mr. Martin and Glenn. Thank you, Susan. Very, very good of you. Guys, what a great show tonight. Outstanding. Dinky-Doo from Wilmington in North Carolina. We love it. Ciao. Ciao. Thank you. There we are. Dinky-Doo. Do you think the new Prime Minister is acceptable? Rishi, well, he hasn't been voted in by the people yet. That's what you've got to do. There's somebody from Postle Park in Glasgow. Dinky-Doo, I say to you. Sorry, Scotty, I will behave. Good, good. Are you political? No, absolutely not. What do we got here? Murray has just sent an absolute fortune. Murray, you are such a naughty boy, and that is so very, very kind of you. This all goes to help the program, Murray. It's wonderful, and thank you. Someday I will, what is it they say? Someday I will repay thee, the good Samaritan. Lovely thing at Easter time. Murray's just sent £20, guys. Can we all say thank you to Murray? Wonderful. Guys, I'm going to have to dash. 1 more minute. Now then, what else have we got? Lots of interesting points. Scotty, trying to go live for a blether. I know everybody wants a blether with Scotty McCLUE. Stallion has just sent £20 and said, I match that. Stallion, what are you doing? Everybody says, I love you, Murray. And Susan says, thank you, Murray. Guys, we're going to have to dash. We're out of time. I love you guys. Dinky-Doo. That's our beautiful TikTokers. We've had to go. Fantastic. Now then, thank you to the lovely, lovely YouTubers. Big thank you to Stallion. Big thank you to Murray for outstanding kindness and generosity to Scottie McClue and the Scottie McClue Show. Love you. Thank you, guys. Very, very much appreciated. We're going to have to go now. Have a very, very happy Easter. Good night. God bless. Dinky-Doo. And as we say in the best of circles, para las